I'm Mark Sonnenblick, and I am one of the songwriters for KPop Demon Hunters. One of the songs that I co-wrote is Golden.
You had not made K-pop before.
Not
You
at
were
all.
in the world of musicals and movies and Broadway and the stage and a different kind of songwriting.
Yeah.
How'd you get hooked up with this?
Mark Sonnenblick may not be a name that you'd expect to hear alongside the likes of Kendrick Lamar, Lady Gaga, or Sabrina Carpenter. But on November 7th, Mark received not one, but 2 Grammy nominations for co-writing Golden, the breakout hit from K-pop Demon Hunters, the most viewed title in Netflix history. One Grammy nomination was for Song of the Year, and another for Best Song Written for Visual Media. Mark is one of the best-kept secrets behind the success of the music in K-pop Demon Hunters. He co-wrote Golden with EJAE, who's received a lot of media attention, for good reason, as the groundbreaking Korean heritage artist who not only co-wrote the song, but also sang the part of the lead character, Rumi. In an interview with Rolling Stone magazine, EJAE jokingly called Mark her writing boyfriend. Mark co-wrote 5 of the 7 original songs on the soundtrack: How It's Done, Golden, Free, Your Idol, and What It Sounds Like. In addition, he co-wrote 2 additional songs on the deluxe version of the album, Hunter's Mantra and G-New's Lament. But get this, Mark isn't Korean. He doesn't speak Korean, and he never wrote a K-pop song before getting involved with the movie. His path to success has been a winding road of personal and professional struggles, especially as a gay man trying to carve out a place for himself in America. Mark's journey wasn't just about learning a new genre. It was about overcoming barriers, embracing his identity, and finding his voice in spaces where he never thought he belonged. So, who is this brilliant, Yale-educated, musical theater-loving outsider mystery man who co-wrote some of the biggest K-pop hits in history? Let's find out. But just a warning, there will be spoilers. Mark Sonnenblick's story starts in the Los Angeles area, far from the glitz and glamour of Broadway or the flash of K-pop stardom. Music was his escape from a world that never fully understood him. As a young man, Mark turned to the piano to express himself, finding solace in the notes he played. But music wasn't just an outlet for him. It became a passion that grew alongside his love for storytelling. In high school, he was in a band that gave him a way to channel his emotions. But it was through jazz band and musical theater that Mark began to see music as more than just sound. It was a narrative tool. It isn't easy being a gay kid in high school. The bullying, the confusion, the loneliness. But Mark had the support of his music teacher, who introduced him to the world of the Great American Songbook. Performing songs from decades past at retirement homes wasn't glamorous, but it opened his eyes to the power of music to connect, to heal, and to tell stories that transcended time. As a senior, Mark collaborated with his English teacher and peers to write his first musical. It was here that he began to realize that musical theater was his calling, not just because of the music, but because of the stories it allowed him to tell. After high school, Mark moved across the country to attend Yale University. Yes, the Yale. Who would have thought that K-pop Demon Hunters had an Ivy League pedigree? While his major was American Studies, his heart was set on musical theater. By his sophomore year, he was already writing his second musical, pouring his soul into characters and narratives that felt deeply personal to him. His own struggles bled into his work. But at Yale, Mark faced an unspoken pressure to prove himself in a world that expected something different from him, something more traditional. But the more he wrote, the more Mark realized that musical theater wasn't just a passion, it was his lifeline. However, there was a stark difference between his dreams and reality. Musical theater is an industry notoriously filled with starving artists, so choosing to go down that road was a difficult decision. His passion was undeniable, but could he survive in that world? Mark's journey wasn't linear. After college, he moved to Denver, unsure of what his next steps would be. While in Denver, he formed a synth rock band, but the uncertain feeling didn't go away. Mark's desire to break into musical theater continued to pull at him, so he started making frequent trips to New York City. But New York was overwhelming. and the competition was fierce. Despite these challenges, Mark couldn't walk away from musical theater. It wasn't just a career, it was the only place where he could truly be himself. But success didn't come easy. The reality of breaking into Broadway or the off-Broadway scene was grueling. Yet, with each rejection, with each struggle, Mark found something deeper within himself: resilience. Mark's perseverance eventually paid off. In 2018, Midnight at the Never Get debuted off-Broadway, earning him a Drama Desk nomination in 2019 for Outstanding Music. He was also nominated for a Primetime Emmy in 2019 for Beautiful Things Can Grow, from the HBO documentary Song of Parkland. His work on the soundtracks for the movies Lyle Lyle Crocodile and Spirited gave him a break into the world of musical film and television. Good Afternoon, one of the songs he co-wrote for Spirited, was nominated at the 2023 Society of Composers and Lyricists Awards and shortlisted for Best Original Song at the 96th Academy Awards. With this success, Mark wondered, should he return to the stage, or was this the time to double down on film and television work? Little did he know, a new opportunity was waiting for him just on the horizon. Mark received a call from his friend, Ian Eisendrath, that would change his life. Ian Eisendrath, who also comes from the world of musical theater, was the executive music producer on both Lyle Lyle Crocodile and on Spirited. Ian had recently been tapped to be the executive music producer on a little-known Sony Pictures animation project called KPop Demon Hunters that would be released exclusively on Netflix. The film had a lot of great original K-pop songs, but they needed someone on the songwriting team that could seamlessly integrate those standalone songs into the narrative of the story. Was he interested? Mark was startled, but in a good way. He'd built his career writing for musicals and film, but writing K-pop? That was entirely new. According to Ian, the project was ambitious. We had to create a K-pop world that felt totally real, globally competitive, and layered with story. Mark accepted the challenge. He knew the stakes were high, but Mark saw something more: a chance to step outside of his comfort zone while bringing to the table a story that he knew so well about identity, outsider status, and struggle. He soon found himself collaborating with EJAE, a Korean and American artist with an incredible background in K-pop. Mark would work on the project for the final 2 years, but by the time Mark joined the team, EJAE had already been working on the project for 3 to 4 years, writing all of the early demos that helped get the project greenlit in the first place. Mark and EJAE started exchanging ideas across continents. They worked via Zoom at odd hours, with time zones, language, and genre all presenting obstacles. They had tight deadlines, so there were a lot of late nights, all-nighters, and working through weekends and holidays. There's a 14-hour time difference between Seoul, South Korea, and New York City. Mark said in an interview, "EJAE and I, 1 a.m., she'd be in Korea and I'd be in New York. We'd be on a Zoom just like, if we can pull this off, it'd be something really, really cool." The process was both intense and deeply collaborative. The producers would first set the beat, tempo, energy level, mood, and send an instrumental track to EJAE. She'd build a top-line melody and rough vocals, often with just oohs or ahs, and then send them to Mark with different options. Over Zoom, Mark and EJAE would draft English lyrics, maintaining the K-pop energy while weaving in the emotional story elements. They'd go back and forth, trying to find the right balance between K-pop and storytelling. After finishing a few options, they'd send it to the directors for feedback, and then repeat the process. The Korean lyrics were added later by EJAE, who replaced the English lyrics with Korean words that rhymed with the English lyrics, but had the same meaning and emotion. Throughout the process, Mark and EJAE would police each other, with Mark reminding EJAE to stay on narrative, and with EJAE reminding Mark that the lyrics needed to be more catchy.
Our collaboration of like bringing theater and pop and how we had to keep going back and forth to make a good balance. So it works again in the real world as a pop song, but also in the film.
I'd like bring in a lyric and EJ would be like, no,
I'll be like,
lame.
no, can we make it more simple?
Golden was the last song they worked on, even though the song is sung early in the movie. It wasn't finished until December 2024, just 6 months before the film's release date in June 2025. EJAE received the instrumental track to Golden while in a cab in Seoul on her way to the dentist. Immediately inspired, she recorded a voice memo of the top-line melody that came rushing out of her head. After coming home, she quickly recorded some top-line melodies and sent them to Mark. Later, on a Zoom call, the two of them went to work right away.
EJ sent me this phrase because she'll do a lot of the melody and be like, oh, here's some different options. Like, what do we think because we built this? And the minute you just hear that, and then like,
It's so fulfilling.
It's so fulfilling.
You're like,
and it's
yeah, we
fun,
got
right?
there.
Yeah,
We got
yeah,
there.
Exactly.
"You're not going to believe this," Mark told EJ. He had already written the line, gonna be golden, and it fit perfectly into EJ's melody.
But like this is just, this is terrible. Like, but it's just kind of to feel like here's a pitch of some lyric idea.
Both EJ and Mark poured their souls into the bittersweet but hopeful lyrics. For EJ, she was letting go of her past trauma of trying to hide her imperfections during her Idol trainee days, only to be rejected in the end. For Mark, he was sharing his own story, and the story of all members of the LGBTQ+ community, one of spectacle, transformation, found family, and reinvention.
I think part of the reason it broke through in the way it did certainly is because the movie is what it is, but also because the message in the music is optimism and hope and this idea of coming into yourself. And even though, I mean, talking to EJ about her experience as we were writing and with so much overlap with Rumi was so integral to like writing the songs, but it was also universal to me too, and in different ways, you know, the things I've hidden and the things that I've dreamed of that haven't happened.
But rapid inspiration didn't mean easy completion. Golden went through several iterations before landing on that perfect combination of K-pop hit and storytelling narrative, with lyrics in both English and Korean. On the surface, the song is a catchy, upbeat K-pop anthem, but it's deeply layered with a lot of hidden meanings.
She sings, I will be shining. Earlier in the track, she's singing, now I'm shining. But when it's herself, it's I'll be shining because it's not real yet. She's lying. She's hiding even as she's singing it. And getting that right took a lot of passes.
And this concept of duality is just so layered within the whole film. And also, you know, and just in general, like the song itself is, you know, if you just hear it as a pop song, if you haven't seen the film, it's a great pop song. But if you watch the film, it has a completely different meaning.
There's also a moment when the melody of Golden comes back during the climax of the movie for the final song, What It Sounds Like.
We realized actually the important thing that happens is the crowd comes back to Huntrix in this moment. And the connection between the girls inspires the crowd. And the crowd doesn't know the mantra. What does the crowd know? The last song Huntrix released, which is Golden. So they come in with, we're in the, feel it's an undefined, this is what it sounds like. They're going.
That's the moment. When you bring that back towards the end, that's when I'm like, yes!
Yeah.
Yes!
Because that's what they know to sing along with.
Yeah, it's
And
great.
it's also the words on it are no more hiding, now I'm shining like I'm born to be, which they think is perfection when they first sing the song.
And actually, it's just showing yourself. in all of
Exactly.
its
You're
beauty,
shining as you were
patterns
born.
and all.
Yeah. And so it's a cool, but it's very musical theater.
This iterative process of trying to weave the catchy K-pop hooks in order to enhance the storytelling throughout the movie was typical for all of the songs. There were tracks rewritten dozens of times. According to Mark, one song had over 100 versions. For the song What It Sounds Like, for example, Mark spent over a year on it, even working through Christmas and New Year's to meet deadlines. But the payoff for Mark was huge on multiple levels. He achieved something unexpected: authenticity in a genre unfamiliar to him, and hits rooted in story and personal truth. For Mark, K-pop Demon Hunters became more than just a job. It became an outlet for everything he had experienced. His collaboration with EJAE, despite cultural and language barriers, resulted in some of the most unique and genre-blending hits of 2025, and an unexpected new songwriting friendship.
I'm just so overwhelmed and proud and grateful to everybody. I'm so grateful to you as well because we worked really hard. Yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
I'm just like, how lucky. You just never, you get so many phone calls to work on different things, and you're just like, oh, I don't, and like from the first couple times that we were
locked in.
It's amazing, and I'm so moved and proud of you. I mean, I just like,
and there's and your friendship too. You know, that means a lot. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
And with that, Mark Sonnenblick found his place in the K-pop world and in Grammy history. With the Grammy nominations already in hand and Oscars buzz building, Mark's career is only just beginning to take off, but he's not done yet. He's currently back in musical theater, working on an exciting stage production of Weekend, a queer film from 2011, which is sure to bring his love of musical theater and queer narratives to new heights. According to reports, Netflix and Sony have reached a deal to produce K-pop Demon Hunters 2, which will be released in 2029, but no details about the production team have been released yet. So we'll have to wait and see if all of the singers, songwriters, and producers will come back for the sequel. But whatever comes next, with each new project, Mark will continue to break new ground, proving that his outsider perspective isn't just valuable, it's necessary. Mark Sonnenblick's story is proof that sometimes it's the people who don't fit the mold who create the most memorable work. From his struggles as a gay man in America to his battles trying to break into musical theater songwriting, Mark has overcome more than most could ever imagine. His journey to K-pop success wasn't just a career breakthrough, it was a personal one. K-pop Demon Hunters is a testament to the power of embracing who you are, and Mark's contributions to the project will forever be remembered as the work of a true outsider who helped elevate a cartoon into a modern-day fable.